Hi, I'm Tom Davenport, and this is my talk for the IADSS workshop on Beyond the Unicorn. I wrote an article recently about this topic in the Harvard Data Science Review, and this talk is a summary of what I had to say there. So the data science unicorn is someone who does and is capable of performing all the tasks related to building and deploying an analytical or AI model. Starts with framing the problem with stakeholders, to finding the data to train and use the model for scoring, deploying it into production, and then managing ongoing organizational changes related to it. So from start to finish. But like unicorns, of course, in real life, the people who can do all of these tasks don't really exist. They have very different skill sets and even certain personality dispositions are not common across all of these different skills. So as a result, if one person who has all the skills is impossible, you need a team of people with a diverse set of skills to make analytics and AI projects succeed. So that's the alternative to the unicorn view. This is more and more important as organizations start to move toward thinking about AI in particular as transformative for their entire organizations. But that kind of business and organizational transformation is clearly only going to happen if we abandon the unicorn idea and assemble all the necessary skills. So what are those skills that we're talking about here? Now, the hallmark skills of a data scientist are quantitative and technical. Quantitative in terms of math and statistics, and technical mostly in terms of coding. Those are the things that many organizations say they seek first when they look for a data scientist. But there are several other skills required if you're going to be successful in building and deploying a model. One is business knowledge and consulting to make sure that you're solving the right business problem. Relationship and communication skills to gain the trust of the stakeholders for the project, and to once you have created a model, to tell an effective story based on data. There are coaching and staff development skills that are necessary if data scientists are going to manage other data scientists or teams. Of course, in some cases, we would look for a combination of these skills. Some organizations talk about T-shaped skills, where you have depth in one area and some breadth across. And then I can't make the pie symbol with my hands, but that would mean pie-shaped skills would mean you had at least kind of two strong legs to stand on from a skill perspective. Now, I think one thing worth considering is that some of these skills are getting easier. My view would be that tools like automated machine learning capabilities and so-called MLOps oriented tools are making the traditional quantitative and technology skills somewhat easier, performable by less skilled individuals, but that's not really true for the human side skills. Those are not getting any easier at all. So we have a number of problems related to this unicorn issue, and one is an education-oriented problem. So by now, the good news is that we have hundreds of programs for educating analytics and data science-oriented people now. These are found in business schools. I'm a business school person. A couple of years ago, I had a friend who worked for the business school accreditation group look up how many master's level programs there were in analytics or data science, and there were over 200 at the time, even more now, I suspect. They're also in engineering schools and computer science schools, sometimes even in information/library science-oriented schools. Some schools offer multiple programs. At one point, I counted Berkeley having 4 or 5, I believe. the problem is that few of these programs really say what their primary focus is, what they do and don't attempt to inculcate in terms of specific skills. And as a result, I think students are often confused about what program is best suited to their needs. I've heard anecdotally of several cases where students would show up for a particular program that was oriented to kind of managerial issues in analytics and expect to get deep quantitative skills out of it. So schools need to do a better job of communicating what they're trying to do. Now, one solution to this problem within organizations would be for a particular company or nonprofit to categorize the skills involved in data and analytics and data science and so on for use within their organization. So in the article, I talked about a large bank. I can now reveal that this is TD Bank, based in Canada, but one of the largest banks in North America. It's in the US as well. About 4 or 5 years ago, they started work on what they called an enterprise talent work stream. And the idea was, first, we're going to identify all of our data and analytics talent. Turned out out of their 80,000 or so people, a couple of thousand or so really fell into this category of data and analytics orientation, including AI. So they started to categorize them. They developed 7 different job families. I'll read these to you. Advanced analytics, business application ownership and management, business information management. I'm not sure what all of these mean, but I think they do. Business insights and analytics, business intelligence reporting, classical BI work, data governance and management, and visualization. And within these 7 job families, they identified 65 different roles. For each one, they explained its key attributes, the experience and education required to perform it, the kind of, score or level within the bank, which I assume determines compensation. And they identified 16 different competencies, and they said which of each competency is needed at what level within each of the jobs. So you can imagine that this would be very helpful within an organization. It helps them think about what kinds of people we need to staff projects. It helps them talk to a particular individual and say, what education might you need in order to develop into the kind of person that you want to be in data and analytics at the bank. Just advances the discussion, I think, considerably in terms of skills and jobs within an organization. Now, the problem is that it's hard for every organization to have one of these. Clearly, it would be inefficient for each organization to create all these job families and job roles, a classification structure of this type. And if you move from one organization to another, chances would be good that the classification you had in the first employer would not be the same in the second employer, so that would create confusion. So it would be great if we could have across the entire society the skills and activities and names. Sometimes the names drive me crazy. I was working on a piece of research today and trying to decide what are the data-oriented jobs involved in AI called, and I came up with, in the literature, machine learning engineer, data engineer, and AI data czar. And I suspect there are more as well, but it would be great if we had common names for these things. Names, skills, activities, all the things related to data science, data management, analytics, etc. Some organizations have tried this from a skills perspective. They have created some programs for certifying analytics or data science skills. Several of these have been from vendors. My belief is that these haven't really taken off all that much in the marketplace. I've been involved in one done by Informs, the Institute for Operations Research and Management Sciences. this as an organization that's existed for a long time, and they've embraced, I think, analytics. At least most of the people in it have embraced analytics, broadly speaking. And so several years ago, they decided we're going to create a certification program, and it's called CAP. I'm still on the board of it. It stands for Certified Analytics Professional. And I think it's a pretty good way to test whether someone has the skills necessary to be successful as an analytics person. However, even after several years, we only have a few hundred people who have taken and passed the CAP exam. I think most of the people who take it pass it. Now, you, of course, are familiar, or you wouldn't be at this workshop, with IADSS, and I think this is a great organization for creating some standards related to analytics and data science. I certainly hope that it succeeds. You know, I studied a little bit efforts in other realms of society and business to create these kinds of categorization structures. It's never easy. Creating the standard for the Universal Product Code in digital form took 15 years in a project at MIT. I loved years ago reading a book about the International Classification of Diseases, which you'd think we humans would find very important, that it took many decades to establish agreement on what the International Classification of Diseases is. And we've had, I think we're on the 11th version of the ICD classification now. So I hope that IADSS is quite successful in this effort. I'm certainly supportive of it. I believe I'm on the advisory board of it, but I don't think we should underestimate the difficulty of it. If there is some progress even in getting organizations to adopt this society-wide, I think we'll all be much better off. And with that, I will stop, and I'm happy to answer any questions or hear any comments that you have on this topic.
Excellent. Okay, so I'll turn it over to you. We've got a number of questions, and I'll ask you to limit to 1 or 2 for now, but we can come back.
Sure. Relatively easy one. A question about how do you see the shift to remote learning affecting data science education? And I think that will be probably fine for many technical skills, perhaps mathematical and coding skills, but not so good for relationship and sort of deployment-oriented skills. In fact, Katie Malone and I have a draft of an article for the Harvard Data Science Review on this issue of deployment, which is increasingly an issue for AI. We get lots of pilots, but not so many production deployments. And without a sort of an internship where you develop some of the political relationship, trust-oriented skills to make deployments happen, I think you're less likely to be successful. And then mitigating Usama's question, how do you mitigate against the unicorn problem? What's my advice to companies and universities? I think, as I said, I hope that we will be successful in IADSS developing a series of standards that the world can use for this purpose, you know, a set of job categories with associated skills and capabilities. In the short run, however, I think that most organizations have few alternatives to what TD Bank did, which is to kind of figure out what roles they have, how many different roles there are, what families they fall into, what kinds of skills are necessary in them, and you know, just what level of skills are necessary for each one. That's a difficult and time-consuming task in itself, although it's obviously easier within one organization than across many of them. And within universities, I would like to see professional associations within universities start to agree on some categorization scheme. Change across universities takes a long time, and we don't even have, you know, the same schools teaching these programs. As I said in my recorded session, some are in business schools, some are in computer science schools, some are in engineering schools, some in information schools. And so I think it's unlikely to come initially from universities. I think companies have a better bet at developing these kinds of standards internally than universities doing it.